All right. Next question. Why? Why do you want abundance? Because then I could be free, or I could be, right, powerful, or whatever the reason is. I want abundance so I can be. And then ultimately is, what is that feeling that you want to be, that beingness? Because it's so important to understand. And this is another thing that just absolutely changed my life. I was programmed that if you want to feel something, go outside and do stuff out here. Try to make somebody else feel, try to go get this and do that and bust your butt to work hard, push, struggle. And then you'll feel. And I'm glad I learned at a young age, and I still continue to learn it today. Still push my head up against that wall sometimes. It's like, oh yeah, I have access to that joy or that wealth or that prosperity or that success now. And then I also move forward with it.
You have to become who you want to be on the inside before it'll come on the outside. You mentioned your inner game. Well, you have to develop your inner game up so that it shows in your outer game, right? A great example of that is I have a whiteboard over here in my office, right? And years ago when I figured this out, like what's one of the ways that we control our inner game that shows in our outer game every day, and that's our attitude, right? So the way we approach each day. And so I did this, like, it seemed like a stupid thing at the time, but like I just walked in one day and I wrote, which type of attitude will I choose to have today? Great, fair, or poor? And I had to circle it. And so like every day ever since, it's like over a decade, I walk in my office every day and I circle which type of attitude I'm going to have. Guess what? I've never circled fair or poor. And so,
right.
so every single day, right, building businesses, doing all the things, not everything goes well. Not everything goes perfect. There's always a problem. There's always something. And so when I feel myself starting to get into that negative mode, I've got that right there that I look at and I'm like, I circled, I'm going to have a great attitude today. All right. So how do we turn this around? What's in my control? Like that, and that sort of thing. It's like a little trigger, right? Because I think you'll agree with this. No matter how good you are at understanding this, no matter how good you are at understanding how your subconscious mind is programmed and how you can reprogram it and do all the things, right? It's a constant thing that you're going to have to do your entire life, and you're never going to be perfect at it. And you need things to shock you out of it, because you will have the times where you let it takes over control. So
beautifully said, Dave. Beautifully said, because I think that's part of the expectation too, is that, and I certainly had it too when I first started. It's like, okay, I get this stuff, so I'm supposed to be perfecting it. But
so now I'm successful, right? No, it doesn't work like that. You're 50% of the way there.
And I'll never, and it's like, okay, we think that I'm successful and there'll never be a bump, there'll never be contrast, there'll never be an obstacle. And that's just not true. Because what happens is when you have, going back to desire, when you have a desire for something, it could be grow business, sell business, open up another business. I just opened up a clothing store with my friend who's a Pilates instructor. And it's like, now I'm doing that too. So it's fun being an entrepreneur, because you can lean in and create things and it's just let your imagination run wild, right? But also at the same time, ground it in profit, loss, all of those business things.
Right.
But the bottom line is, it's the energy that you bring into that particular business. And when you're thinking that, okay, I am going to, like you said, I'm choosing this as my attitude. And even though this might be a bump, or I might need to look at something or take a step back or whatever it may be, I need to manage me. And now's not a time to take the action. It's a time to focus on, what do I want? Why do I want it? How do I want to feel? Right? Working on the inside out, so that then you're aligned and then you can take that momentum.